In the last year, the Federal Reserve has printed 40% of all US dollars in existence. Why? Well, in case you didn't know, there was a little bit of a worldwide pandemic that caused millions of people to lose their jobs and tons of businesses to close down. So now that there's millions of financially ruined people and mandated government lockdowns, what did the government decide to do? They printed trillions of dollars in stimulus. They handed out checks to almost every single eligible American to help ease the economic struggle, and while giving money directly to the people is politically beneficial and sounds great in theory, it creates more problems than it solves. Because although it may sound counterintuitive, poor people think that stimulus money is a gift to them, but in fact, it's a gift to rich people, and you are about to learn why. Here's how the cycle works. The government sends money directly to poor people in the form of checks and deposits in their bank account. Typically, poor people use the government money to buy stuff, but the stuff they buy is sold by a company owned by someone who is richer and wealthier than the poor person. So the government gives money directly to poor people, and then poor people go and give that money, spend that money on rich people. So really the government is just funneling money indirectly to rich people. As a business owner myself, I had record sales every week stimulus checks were mailed out. This isn't a coincidence, and my fellow entrepreneur friends experienced the same thing in their businesses. So instead of the money going from the government to needy Americans, it really went from the government to business owners. Needy Americans were just the middlemen.
That's slavery! It's society. They work for each other, Morty. They pay each other. They buy houses. They get married and make children that replace them when they get too old to make power. That just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
But wait, it gets worse, because although poor people only get $1,200 in spending power to spend on goods, rich people end up getting much more than that. How, you may ask? Let me give you a simplified example. Let's say a business gets 100 customers who spend their $1,200 stimulus check on a company's product. The poor person initially got $1,200 richer, although they just spent all the money, so now it's gone. The rich person who owns the business just got $120,000 richer because he got 100 customers spending their money on his products. There are far fewer companies than there are people who got a stimulus check. So the company receives many stimulus checks as new revenue, which translates to more money for the owner of these companies. So while a poor person may have gotten a temporary wealth boost of $1,200, a rich person who owns the company got a wealth boost of $120,000, a 100x multiple over the poor person who doesn't even have the initial $1,200 anymore because they went and spent it. And when you take this increased revenue and profit of the company, it actually increases the valuation of the company. So the multiple becomes much higher now because your company is now worth more than it was before because of the record-breaking profit and revenue. So depending on how you calculate the new increased valuation of the company, thanks to all the new money flowing in, you can easily have a company getting a 200x multiple over that poor person. Yeah, let that sink in. And by the way, did I mention that this is only one of the 3 ways stimulus checks make rich people richer? You might think that only dumb people go out and spend their stimulus checks, because the smart thing to do is invest your stimulus check so that it makes you more money. Well, not exactly. Let's say you use your stimulus money to invest in stocks or cryptocurrency. Let's say you buy shares of Tesla. Your money leads to the price of Tesla stock going up, which rich people already own. Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, and when you buy his stock, it causes the price of it to go up, meaning his company is now more valuable, and you traded your $1,200 stimulus check to make Elon Musk richer because he owns the company. And it's not just Elon Musk who gets richer because his company is now more valuable. All of the already rich people who have long been invested in stocks now have the stock price go up with all this new stimulus money pouring in. So since they were already in there first, they make money off of your stimulus. And even if you had a rich person who invested at the same time and got a 20% return, you still lose. Why? Well, because of how percentages work. Let's say you invested your $1,200 and got a 10% return. That's an extra $120 for you, the poor person. Congrats. But let's say the rich person invested $1 million and got the same 10% return as you. That leaves him with an extra $100,000 for him, while you only got an extra $120. Now, you may be sweating and thinking, if you can't spend it, you can't invest it without it working against you, why don't you just save the money? Well, thanks to inflation, your money becomes worth less over time in its purchasing power. And since the government just printed 40% of all money in circulation in the past 12 months, they're accelerating the rate of inflation, meaning accelerating the rate at which your money is worth less until it's soon going to be worthless. So whether you save, invest, or spend it, there's really no way for you to win. So what do? Well, that's too much to explain all at once, and this video is getting long, so make sure to check out my other videos on my channel where I talk about building wealth, accumulating assets, and living in the digital digital economy. And most importantly, remember that the government is not here to save you. You have to save yourself. And the best way to do that is to secure your financial future by investing in your own businesses and assets that can earn you money and make you financially stable for the long term. Thank you so much to the Twitter account, The Real Estate G, for putting together an excellent thread on all of this. In fact, all of the examples and explanation from this video came from their must-read thread on the topic of stimulus and the greater economic future we're facing with technology, capital, and labor, and more importantly, inflation. So make sure to read their entire thread and give them a follow, because this video would not have been possible without their badass thread. If you want to keep up with me, see more of me, you can watch more videos on this channel, or you can follow me on Instagram, where I talk a little bit more about fashion, men's lifestyle, and grooming. And I also have a jewelry brand that is going to be released soon. This necklace I'm wearing is actually from the jewelry brand. So if you want to keep up with that, you can sign up to be notified when my jewelry is released. I didn't order that much because this is my first launch. I didn't want to have too much. I didn't want to have too much to order, and I'm still figuring everything out. But if you want to make sure you get it before it sells out, because I did not get a lot, so it's definitely going to sell out, make sure you sign up for notifications. And I'll see you guys here in another video or on my Instagram. I'll see you guys very soon.